Corey, can I say it?
What?
This is some bullshit.
Man, we haven't even started yet.
Right?
No, it's not. I mean, okay, yeah, I kind of got that feeling from you when I was sitting next to you in the theater. You were pissed.
Not so much fantastic then.
Well, it was a fantastic bore. Yeah, come on, I had to throw the first one out.
No,
Yeah,
you didn't.
You know what? You can keep your 4. I've just got 1 for for Fox. In fact, you know what surprises me? Bill O'Reilly is going to hate this movie. He is going to quit. The minute he finds out that Fox is not only sanctioning but paying for an abortion, he's
Come
gonna.
on, man.
Oh, damn, that's a long way for a joke.
Oh, golly. I thought you were going with the global warming angle on that one.
All right, so
What didn't you like about it so much that it's like the loathing, the foam that I see coming out of your mouth here and the smoke from your ears obviously indicates there's emotion behind this.
Well, how long was this movie?
Hour and a half.
Yeah,
Hour and a half. Then I hate an hour and a half of it. I mean, there is nothing here that is worthwhile. This is they don't get the spirit of the comic right. They make jokes about being superheroes the whole time. The only thing missing from this movie is the wah wah. Every time there's a joke, and there's tons of them, but it's not funny character jokes. It's set up slapstick jokes.
No, I missed it. No, it's funny because I was going to say the exact same thing. I mean, the first 30 minutes is all just shenanigans, in which might as well have Hanna-Barbera sound effects with wah wah, or boom boom ba boom, or bloop, bing. Yeah, and I was just like, okay, is this ever going to start and you start getting somewhere? And then by the time you get to the action sequences, I'm like, y'all, I've kind of given up on this already. Can we move on to something else?
Then let's get to where we start getting product placement, where they're making fun of product placement. Dodge built their
Quinjet.
Their Quinjet.
Fantastic car, actually.
The Fantastic Car. Yeah, because the Quinjet is the Avengers.
Okay.
The Fantastic Car is by Dodge, complete with a joke. Oh, does it have a Hemi? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that actually. What's a Hemi?
A Hemi is a type of engine that you get in a Dodge.
Yeah, they've been doing those ads all over the place.
Oh, that
with trucks.
wasn't terribly subtle. Yeah, I mean, the movie, at least, though, I'll tell you this, at least had the balls to make fun of its own product placement. Yes, it was everywhere, but there was actually a joke in the movie where they made fun of themselves. Yes, we know. How do you think we pay for this piece of shit? But to be honest, I didn't think this was as bad as the first one. The first one was, its biggest crime is it was really boring. I just didn't care what was going on. There was some neat flashbang gee whiz bits, but on the whole, so what? This movie is also its biggest flaw. It's boring. But this time around, I know that stuff annoyed you with the shenanigans, but I thought it was cute. I thought the shenanigan sequences were funny. I was laughing.
No, you see, okay, so in case you don't know, you got the Fantastic Four. This is the sequel to the first movie. They're back, Reed Richards and Sue, the Invisible Woman. They're about to get married, and the Thing and Johnny Storm, they're fighting as usual, but they're getting along just a little bit more. And then the Silver Surfer has to show up and fuck that all up. He's representing the Eater of Worlds himself, Galactus.
Not appearing in this film.
No, and that's what I'm going to get into. Now, let me just tell you what I think about this movie, because I know I'm amongst very serious comic book fans. The Fantastic Four was always stupid to me, even in the comic books. So
I'm with you. I think it's one of the lamer titles and always has been.
I've read a few of them, and I just could never get into it. So to see how goofy this movie is, I'm thinking, yeah, there ain't no way you can do a serious Fantastic Four movie. And and to give you a little insight here, so we're all comic book people here. So for those who aren't, now in the comic books, the Silver Surfer, he's the one that represents Galactus before he eats your world. And Galactus in the comics is a big guy in a purple suit, a big purple armor. So in this movie, they don't do that. Now, I'm all for trying to keep the comics as close I'm all for keeping the movies as close to the comics as they can be. But I just can't see a live action giant purple pimp walking down the street eating the city. So I can kind of understand how they just made Galactus like this big ominous cloud.
Wait,
I honestly had no problem with that.
think about what you just said in the movie you just saw, And you can't honestly tell me it wouldn't have been a more fun movie to watch if it had a giant purple pimp walking around eating the city.
I can't believe you just turned the Fantastic Four into a Dolomite movie. I can't believe that's where we've finally gone. Where this is just silly, and it would just be too sillier with Dolomite. Galactus is not Dolomite. He may look weird, and yeah, he's got purple armor on, but you can make that look cool. And all they needed to do was the cloud moves away and give us, a few seconds of this giant, even just the head and maybe a distance of the guy. We don't need him walking down the street. We don't need the shot of him standing in the city, but come on, give us something.
I can understand that. I mean, I was thinking that when they went to the cloud and I saw a silhouette and I thought like, oh, they did have Galactus, but it wasn't.
It could have been a silhouette. Now, I'm the biggest, out of the four of us, I am the biggest Fantastic Four fan. And there are a lot of good issues. Maybe you guys haven't read them. But there's a lot of good, important issues in there that you probably like. But you know what? I'm not such a fan that I'm like, Galactus has to look like he does. I really had no problem with them making him a big ominous cloud. I'm like, hey, that works with the spirit of it. But with everything that was so silly and the thing looking even almost more fake than it did in the first movie and everything else that was so silly, how'd they suddenly say, like, wait a minute. Now, we got to get serious about Galactus, and we can't show him in his purple armor, because that would ruin it. It's like, that would ruin it? Well, all this other foolishness, it was fine, but suddenly now you want to get serious?
If they were worried about the cost of it, they could have just stamped
start over?
If they were worried about the cost of showing him, they could have just stamped a big Ferrari symbol on the top of his helmet or something, Yeah. I mean, that's how they paid for everything else in the film.
Well, this is Tom Rothman again. Tom Rothman, for some reason, doesn't like giants in his movies. This is the same studio head that told the guys who were making X-Men 3, no, you cannot have Sentinels. Sentinels are stupid. They're silly. I'm not having giant robots or giants of any kind in my movies. And he held that here.
He was wrong.
Okay, well,
damn it! Was he read Jack and the Beanstalk when he was like 3 years old, and it just scared him so bad?
He was raped by Andre the Giant, and anything that's giant at all scares the hell out of him.
He ran out of a Rockets basketball game. Yao Ming, it's too much. Get me out of here.
Well, let me. As far as the movie goes, I know all the hardcore nerds, they're gonna turn on me for saying this, but I didn't think the movie was terrible. As it was just like anything that was big budget and spectacularly special effects written this summer. I mean, yeah, it was probably the dumbest and goofiest thing I've seen. But I'm looking at the kids around, and yeah, in a perfect world, I would have loved to have seen a better movie. As far as these big budget movies go, I always want to see them written better. I always want to see them made better. But I think this is going to be a really cool family film. I don't think it's that awful. I think it's and the only people I would say stay away from it are the people who want to see a better interpretation of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I agree with you, Corey. I think on the whole, this really isn't a bad movie. It annoyed me mainly in the ways in which it deviated so badly from the comic book or from the Marvel Universe when it didn't have to. It should have stuck more to it. Its darkest parts are what don't work. The heavy storyline, we're all going to die parts are just plain silly. But the parts that are supposed to be silly do work.
Yeah.
And they're fun.
And this from the guys who said that X3 was a fun summer blockbuster.
I mean, I said the same thing about X-Men 3.
I know. I'm just clarifying that because people who might be watching this might say, oh, hey, you know what? Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe Cargill's overreacting. Oh, wait, they liked X-Men 3? How could you like X-Men 3?
I don't want to throw off your theory, but I liked X-Men 3, and I thought this was a piece of shit.
No. I'm just saying these two are saying, I'm hearing the exact same things that I heard last summer about X-Men 3.
I'm pretty sure this throws off your theory, Armageddon Man. But anyway.
Yeah, exactly. You of all people, man.
No. You can peg me for you can turn on me and name every movie that you didn't like that I did and call my opinion crap. We're talking comic book movies here. And we're talking about a comic book movie that is widely held as a piece of crap that you guys said was a fun summer blockbuster last year. I'm just saying, I'm hearing the same things about this.
We also said it was the weakest of the three X-Men films by far, and that you may not like it, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's a harmless summer film if you look at it as that type of movie. As an X-Men movie, not so good.
Yeah.
As a summer film, just fine. And
yeah,
the same thing is true of this.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Fantastic Four. X-Men, fuck X-Men, But the thing is, let me tell you what. Okay, let me just tell you what I didn't like about this movie, and let me tell you what I did like. I mean, first of all, yeah, the story is pretty bad. Even though he took it straight from the comic, I think that comic book story is pretty bad itself. So whatever.
Oh, sacrilege!
Whatever.
48, 49, and 50 rule.
But furthermore, the direction is really flat. I mean, the special effects, they're cool. I think they were fun. But whenever they have to like film these guys just being just regular people, I don't know. Isn't
this the guy that did Barbershop?
Yeah. No. When they're sitting around just interacting with each other as everyday people, that's gone out the window. There's no drama here. But the things that do work, the camaraderie between the team. It's especially between the Thing and the Human Torch. All that is pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I love that scene where they were talking about how the Thing has sex with Alicia Masters. That was awesome.
That was funny. I'm
thought that was
sorry.
funny.
I laughed along with everybody else. That was a funny scene.
I mean, you know what?
I thought it was funny that he brought it up, but then the Thing's overreaction, almost childish reaction to it, was just like womp womp womp.
But that was a quality the Thing had in the series. You can't say that's not something that happened between those two all the time in the comic book and the way the Thing always reacted. Because it is the way they wrote it.
Not so immaturely like that.
What? We're talking about the fucking Thing, man. Immature? Come on. We're talking about a guy in a rubber orange suit.
Well, we're talking about a movie with the Thing. I mean, at what point do we like, actually hold it to criticism? At what point do we go like, whatever?
If this were Snoopy.
What if it was Snoopy? Shit, I'd criticize Snoopy for being dumb if it was a dumb movie.
What if Pigpen was just a big cloud?
This is a travesty.
I know
they have peed on the fans.
Walk out of the movie early. That's not the Pigpen I grew up with. That thing in there. That's not the goose.
But what are you saying? I don't understand. But anyway, I thought the Silver Surfer was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
The scenes. Let me finish. God damn it! I let y'all fucking talk. Let me get a goddamn point out. The Silver Surfer is actually a cool character to me, and I thought those action scenes in the movie with him were pretty cool. And I don't know. Maybe it's because they got the most serious Negro in the world to do his voice, Lawrence Fishburne, who. I always find it funny anyway when they get black people to do voices for white characters. You don't get no whiter than the Silver Surfer, I guess. But I mean, I thought that was a cool character. I did. I thought they actually got that right.
So the one black guy in the movie was the one thing you liked.
It's two black guys.
It was two black guys, and actually only black guy that died in the movie was a black guy
and a black girl.
Yeah, there you go, man. And there was one other thing that I liked. I can't remember, but it's not that important.
I do have to agree with you that every time the Silver Surfer was just a Silver Surfer and not interacting with anyone else or no one else was speaking, I dug the stuff with the Silver Surfer. And it made me think about what I heard recently about them doing a Silver Surfer movie and said, hey, you know what? They could maybe do a good Silver Surfer movie.
Yeah.
I think Lawrence Fishburne was an awesome choice, and he really did he was the one character in the movie that felt like his comic book alternate.
Yeah, you know what? As much as I didn't like this movie, I will agree that the Silver Surfer, everything with him, I thought was really well done. It was on the mark, and he sold it really well. But it was one of these things where I'm watching a movie where the Earth's going to end, and I'm kind of like, yeah, that would probably be a good thing.
Yeah, well.
And the Silver Surfer is only in about 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, but there were 5 good minutes. I mean, I would have liked to see him more, but
he was expensive.
If any problem that I have with the Silver Surfer is that he doesn't have a penis. Where do Silver Surfers come from?
That was what he had to give up.
It's going to be what's going to be at the end of the Silver Surfer spinoff is like you'll think he's dead, but then there are all these little baby Silver Surfers that kind of fly off into space.
Now, you say that, but have you not seen the screen grabs from the chase scene? Grab the trailer online, and you're going to want to use that for this because when he's going through the tunnel go frame by frame, he's got balls. The animators thought it would be really funny to throw in this quick little shot of balls, and he's got balls. He's got fucking tackle.
Now, the question is, how did you find this?
It was actually a story on our site. It was a story that popped up because some guy was going frame by frame and said he's got nards. He sent it to one of our editors. Our editor said no way.
Right.
He went frame by frame and said, holy crap! The standard trailer, the one where you see the Silver Surfer coming, it's got nards.
I think Carlisle went frame by frame looking for some balls. I mean, come on.
The guy's got the power cosmic. Are you telling me the one thing he can't do with that is grow a dick?
That's what I'm saying. He's all smooth like a Ken doll. He should have like a little silver dingling flapping in the wind.
Well, he's all into, playing it natural, being naked, but he doesn't want to be PG-13. That's all.
You know what? Lawrence Fishburne doesn't need a dick. That's how cool he is.
Oh, so true.
Damn, in my face with a pair of silver balls. Anything else?
Did you
Silver
say that
balls.
that Carlisle just teabagged you?
With a pair of brass balls. And you gotta admit, I mean, that's one thing I did admire, because you have to admit, you thought about how the Thing would have sex with this black chick.
Yeah, when I was 12 years old.
You didn't think about it in the first movie?
No, because by that point, we'd already seen Mallrats 10 years before, where they did a whole big series of jokes on the Thing and his rock penis. You're telling me that it's really profound stuff that you're stealing from 10-year-old Kevin Smith material that he stole to begin with?
Didn't say it was profound, just said it was funny.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, not so funny. What was I gonna say? You know what? I guess one of the things that bothers me when it opens, because I mean, y'all say like the Fantastic Four is lame. It's like, yeah, you're watching this movie, like, yeah, they are here because this shows them as incompetent. I mean, they're more like the Fantastic fuck ups more than anything else, because they come on the scene and the general's talking to them and they don't know what's going on, and then they're bumping into each other and barely have a handle on things. I'm like, well, hell, no wonder nobody thinks they're cool.
Making them sound like the Three Stooges. I don't think it was that bad.
I felt like they were the Three Stooges.
I didn't
Or
see
the Four Stooges.
See, I saw it as a goofy movie, but I didn't see it that goofy.
I mean, in all honesty, this movie was done. I was like, wow, I kind of miss Ghost Rider.
No, it won't go that far. But
I will. If you put me in a room and put a gun to my head and said, you have a choice, you can watch Ghost Rider or you can watch Fantastic Four, I'd watch Ghost Rider twice.
I was just going to say that. I'd watch it twice.
I'll leave you guys to it then. You ain't gonna pull me into that shit. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. What's the name of the guy that played Reed Richards?
Ian Griffith.
I didn't like him.
No, he's terrible. He's a terrible Reed Richards.
Wait. Reed Richards was in this movie? There was a guy.
Don't let him finish. Let him finish.
Reed Richards is the anchor of the team. Probably my favorite character. And every time that guy comes on, like from the first movie, I didn't like him, but with this one, from the opening scene, I was like, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
He doesn't just suck as Reed Richards. He's a terrible actor.
I just think he was directed badly. I don't know if I've seen him in things where he's good. that's what I'm saying. The movie's directed very flat.
I've only seen him in one other movie, and that was that King Arthur movie that nobody liked.
Well, you leaned over to me halfway through the first scene, and you were going off at me like I had cast him because earlier this week I said, you know what, I didn't think he was that bad in the last one. You're like, see how bad he is.
I was looking across the auditorium at one point, like from one side of an aisle all the way to the other. We're talking like 15 feet, and I catch Leon just staring at me, going, "Oh, you better not like this."
Damn. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I just don't care about the Fantastic Four.
You haven't
that
slept
much.
in a while.
Nah, I just don't give a shit really that much about the Fantastic Four. It's like I said, it was a goofy comic, and this is not a very good movie, but I didn't go in expecting it to be that good. So
yeah, I had low expectations to begin with, and I was mildly amused by it.
Let me just say this: if I'm going to say that Shrek, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Spider-Man 3 were just okay summer movies, I'm not going to put this down that bad either. As far as kids go, I think they'll like it. Whatever.
Sacrilege.
It's certainly simpler than those other films, which is one reason I think kids will like it.
Well, yeah. So are the mentally handicapped.
Oh, come on now.
Well, kids probably will or did like it, and when they get their own show, they can give it as high a rating as they want. But for me, it was some old bullshit.
Some old bullshit.
All right.
Matinee.
Yeah, I'll give it a matinee also.